You know, we've got a seat with your name on it in the Delmarva Life audience. It's true. We want you to be a part of the historic Studio D Fun. Book your seat by visiting delmarvalife.com, clicking on the show tab now on the left side of the page, or you can call 443-880-9116. So at one point or another, you may have come across a group of cats living in your yard, maybe a whole bunch of them underneath a deck or maybe inside the shed. And then before you know it, it's like there's an entire colony of them.
Yeah, and a nonprofit organization in Easton called Tomcat Solutions has made it their mission to reduce the number of free-roaming or abandoned cats on the Eastern Shore by having them spayed or neutered. As Brian Spira shows us, it's a mission that requires a great deal of devotion.
It's not uncommon to see a stray or feral cat here on Delmarva. The problem is, one or two cats here or there eventually leads to kittens and an ever-growing cat population.
I think in some small communities it's a big problem.
This is a nationwide problem where communities just don't have the budgets to handle the cat situation.
Tom Ryan and Terry White are two of the co-founders behind Tomcat Solutions, a nonprofit organization based in Easton.
It's a company that will help people who have all of a sudden adopted cats into their backyard and their colonies are growing and they don't know what to do, and we'll come in and help them out. So it's not a financial issue for them or logistics.
Tomcat Solutions came to fruition in March of 2010. Tom, Terry, and some of the staff members started the organization after the trap, neuter, and return program they volunteered for at a local shelter was stopped.
Several years ago, that program was discontinued. So we picked it up because we think this is an important part of, controlling the cat numbers and improving their lives.
3 years later, they're doing just that. Their headquarters is in this garage. What they're doing is simple but extraordinary. They spay and neuter abandoned or free-roaming cats on the midshore to help prevent continuous reproduction.
But not all of them are feral. Feral basically means it was born in the wild. A lot of them are discarded animals that people decided they didn't want anymore, so they dropped it off at a neighbor's front yard rather than taking it to a shelter. And these are pet cats.
There's one sticking point. Tom and Terry say they only accept cats who have caretakers.
Caretaker is the person feeding the cats, who is responsible for identifying the cats, caring for them on a daily basis, somehow has provided shelter for them, whether it's under their shed or they've put up a doghouse out back, or it's living under the house.
The first part in the spay and neuter process, trapping the cats. Tomcat Solutions loans traps like these to homeowners.
All right, Tom, so we have 4 of the traps here that you guys use to catch cats. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, the trap on the right is the trap that we loan to our caretakers. It's very simple to use. They usually don't have any trouble with it. Sometimes the cats are resistant to going in that because it's kind of closed in. So I developed 3 other traps that are a little bit more open to the air. They're not quite as afraid of those. We have great success in catching the stragglers from the colonies with these 3 other traps.
Once the cats are trapped, they are then brought to the staff at Tomcat Solutions. This happens the night before or the day of surgery. As for how many cats will end up in Tom and Terry's care, that varies.
It depends on the time of the year. Spring, we're working up to big clinics like this, but it's usually about 10 to 15 cats a week. Sometimes more when we do 2 clinics a week.
On today's run, there are 19 of them. Once the cats are electronically checked in, prepped, and paperwork has been filed, it's off to a clinic in Graysonville.
The last one.
Once they arrive, the cats are examined and prepped for surgery.
I think she could be pregnant too.
The numbers just escalate in no time.
Good girl.
Just to give you an idea of the impact Tomcat Solutions has made on the Delmarva cat population, 1,900 cats have been spayed or neutered so far. Roughly 800 were female. The average female can have up to 8 kittens in a year's time. If you do the math, over the 3-year period, that's more than 19,000 cats. Cats that could have eventually fallen victim to starvation, disease, even predators.
We've eliminated a lot of hardship for these animals in so doing. And when you're talking thousands, it makes a difference. We feel like we've made a difference, and we feel a little bit sad that other people haven't picked up the ball in their local communities and are doing the same thing.
As a nonprofit, Tomcat Solutions relies on the generosity of others, but they too do this out of the goodness of their heart.
We don't want anyone to feel that they can't have their cat issue resolved because of finances. So we don't charge for what we do, but at the same time we tell the people that we've just spent X number of dollars just for surgery fees, and we'd appreciate whatever you might be willing to donate to help offset that so we can do it for someone else. In that 3 years that we've been doing business, we've never had to charge anyone yet. We've either gotten donations, or we've had fundraisers, or some people have just become extremely generous that we've been able to keep going.
Once all the operations are complete, Tom and Terry bring the cats back to Easton. The same caretakers who trapped the cats will come back for them and release the cat back to their colony.
It's very rewarding. That's why we do it. That's why we opened up this home to do this once a week and get these cats neutered and spayed and vaccinated. Because I hate to see kittens growing up on the street or in the backyard under somebody's shed.
If a cat can't go back to where it was found, there are foster volunteers who will care for them until they can be adopted. Terry says some of the cats do find the home they deserve. It's all part of the commitment Tomcat Solutions has made, a commitment that's rewarding in so many ways.
I feel like we've accomplished something, like we're really doing something good for the animal.
Wow. Tom and Terry say their biggest piece of advice to cat owners: have your own cats spayed and neutered.
Now, if you'd like more information on Tomcat Solutions or to see the cats they've currently got up for adoption, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the Show tab, now on the left side of your screen.
And now here's a look at what's coming up in the news on First at 5 on Fox 21 and later on WBOC News at 6.